Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Sid from Guns N' Roses Central, and you guys may have been wondering, Sid, where have you been the last 3 weeks? Well, I've been on vacation. If you guys have been following me on social media and seeing some of my comments on Twitter and on Facebook, and responding to some of your guys' comments on YouTube, so I'm back. Got lots of Guns N' Roses news to go through today, and then I'm gonna keep doing videos that are going to catch you guys up on what's happened over the past 3 weeks, sprinkled in with some news that's been happening this week as well. So probably one of some of the biggest news that came out, or rumors I should say, while I was away, is that there's a couple photos of Slash in the studio. And of course, the media went crazy thinking that he's either working on a new Guns N' Roses album or working on a new album with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. So these are some of the headlines that I've noticed on Google, which you guys can see here. And you can see that a lot of places are just jumping to conclusions. They're not really doing their homework. And that's kind of why I'm here, to let you guys know what's actually going on. So let's look at the first photo. This is the most recent photo that actually came out of Slash. So Marshall Lamps put this out. They show Slash in the studios. He's putting his new 2555X Super Jubilee to good use. Here's Slash in the studio. Hashtag live for music. So some people are wondering, is it GNR stuff, or is it stuff with Miles Kennedy? And from looking at the forums, it's kind of inconclusive. We know Axl said in an interview he did with Chinese Exchange that he's shown Duff and Slash some material that has been unreleased, and it seems like they're interested in working on it. This is really the photo that started all the rumors. This is Slash in the studio. This happened about 3 weeks ago, and if you guys look at the hashtags, it'll say hashtag Slash, hashtag Guns N' Roses, hashtag studio, hashtag recording, and then hashtag Twin Studios, which I guess is the studio he was actually at. And something that the news media didn't really do is follow up and see, like, okay, well, the guy who posted this photo, he did have some follow-up comments as to what Slash was doing at the studio. Some people asked him, and this is what's been translated. So he responded in Spanish, but this is what the GNR forums guys are saying. So the guy responded to one of the questions he got about the picture, saying it's a current picture and it was only a visit. Slash was just coming down to visit the studio. Some people speculate maybe he's just checking out the studio to see where he may want to record the next album with Miles Kennedy, or maybe record some Guns N' Roses material as well. Now, some people on the forums did some digging regarding the studio, and it looks like the studio mostly does like hip hop and pop songs. It really doesn't have a history of being like a place where rock and roll bands go to record. So some people think that it could mean that maybe Slash is collaborating with somebody that maybe he hasn't played with before, and maybe he's putting down a guitar part or something. But we still haven't really got any word from Slash or anybody in the Guns N' Roses camp. I think for now we're going to place it as a rumor, and as far as I'm concerned, I think he was just visiting the studio. Maybe he's friends with one of the guys there, but the guys who actually own the studio, they've actually worked for different record labels, including Universal, Warner Music, and Sony Music, and they've even created themes for Emmy award-winning series, including Breaking Bad, and they've also done a lot of work with Mexican regional music. So in terms of whether this is a legit news story or not, don't get your guys' hopes up for a new Guns N' Roses album. If you guys have been paying attention to the band over the last 8 years, you would have seen all these different types of headlines where band members have said, yes, we're working on new material. Some people saying, no, we're not. Even Axl coming out and saying we have 2 new albums coming out, and then we've also got a remix album coming out. And it's really not going to happen until Axl is actually prepared to, go in the studio and record some new stuff, or maybe use whatever is existing. But I definitely think if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, perhaps now is probably the most likely out of the last 8 years when we'll probably see a Guns N' Roses album, because I feel like having Slash and Duff back in the lineup has sort of probably re-energized or made Axl more excited to put out new material. So these are just some of the headlines you guys can see from the previous years. And then staying with the topic of Slash, we've also got some more news about him. So as you guys know, Slash, pretty much throughout his career, or I'd say the last 20 odd years or so, he's been pretty involved with his philanthropy in terms of animal rights and that kind of stuff. So he's actually going to be playing a gig at the Los Angeles Zoo. So what's unique about this gig is that it's going to be broadcast in virtual reality. So the performance takes place on May 20th as part of a benefit show for the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association's 2017 Bestly Ball. And he'll be joined by Jack Black, Grace Potter, and Bernard Fowler, with money being raised for the New Species Conservation Action Network. Now, Slash is already a board trustee of the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association, and Billboard is reporting that if you're a fan of Slash, you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety in full VR alongside behind-the-scenes VR access and an interview with the guitarist. Now, Slash put out a statement regarding his upcoming gig, saying, "I'm honored and proud to be part of the LA Zoo's 50th anniversary Beastly Ball. It's going to be the biggest yet, and I'm really looking forward to jamming live with some good friends." So the show will be available to watch via City Private Pass. I've linked to the article down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. It's important to note that Guns N' Roses are going to be kicking off their European tour on May 27th in Ireland. So it looks like Slash will probably leave for Ireland probably just a week before the actual gig. And let's move on to our next piece of Guns N' Roses news. Now, before we go on to our next piece of news, I also want to come back to our first topic of discussion, which was the studio that Slash visited. We talked about, the studio possibly doing a lot of hip-hop recording and pop music. Well, somebody posted this on the My GNR forums, which I hadn't seen before. So you guys have probably seen the Paradise City performance they did at the Jimmy Kimmel Show back in 2002 or 2003. So Slash, Duff, and Matt Sorum performed with Cypress Hill. They did Paradise City. And then they also did the song Rock Supernova. It's called Rock Superstar. And I'm thinking of this Rockstar Supernova show that Gilby was on. So I've linked to it down below. It's a pretty good performance, and it's kind of cool to see these guys perform with Cypress Hill on a song other than Paradise City. So go check it out, guys. Let's go on to our next piece of news. So for all you Dizzy Reed fans, it looks like Dizzy was out and about, and maybe he's a Hello Kitty fan. He posted these pictures on his Twitter page. I guess he was visiting some Hello Kitty store, so he got some souvenirs and a drink as well. So it's some exciting news while I was away. That basically does it for today's Guns N' Roses news. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses as much as me, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the contents of this video. And be sure to follow me on social media. The links to my Facebook and Twitter accounts are down below. Lots of exciting stuff on my social media accounts that you won't find on my YouTube channel, as well as I'm going to be asking you guys which episode or which song I should be doing in my next episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So thanks for watching, guys, and have yourself a good day.